Hello everyone, my name is Pawan Chauhan. I'm basically from Nanded. I have completed my diploma in mechanical engineering from Pimpri Polytechnic, and after that I have completed my degree in mechanical engineering from Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Technological University. So today's our topic is hierarchy in exception in Java. So in Java, exception is an event that disrupts the normal flow of program. It is an object which is thrown at a runtime. The java.lang.throwable class is the root class of exception hierarchy, and it is inherited by two subclasses which are exception and errors. And under these two subclasses there are several types of errors and exception comes. So the first one is throwable class. Throwable class, which is derived from an object class, is at the top of exception hierarchy, from which all exception classes are derived directly or indirectly. It present in java.lang package, and throwable class is a superclass of all exception in Java. Using throwable class we can also create our own custom exceptions. So the next one is error. Error class is a subclass of throwable class and a superclass of all runtime error classes. It terminates the program if there is a problem related to systems or resources. Example of errors are virtual machine error, stack overflow error, etc. The next point is exception. It is represented by an exception class that represent the error caused by the program and by external factor. Class is a subclass of the throwable class and a superclass of all exception classes. All the exception classes are derived directly or indirectly from the exception class. They originate uh, originate from within the application. The exception class provide the two constructors, the public exception default constructor and public exception string argument. So there are mainly two types of exception, which are checked or compile time exception, or unchecked or runtime exception, and third one is a error. So first we are going to see the unchecked exception or runtime exception. So the classes that inherit the runtime exception under the throwable class are known as a runtime exception or unchecked exception. So there are several types which comes under the unchecked exception. First one is arithmetic exception. This exception is thrown when arithmetic errors such as occurs, such as we divide number by the zero. Second one is a class cast exception thrown by it is thrown by JVM when we attempt invalid typecasting in program. And third one is the illegal argument exception. It occurs when illegal or inappropriate argument is passed to call the method. And there are two types of illegal argument exceptions, which are new number formal exception, and second one is illegal thread state exception. So the fourth type of unchecked exception is index out of bound exception, thrown by JVM when array or string going out of its specified index or length. There are two types of there are further two types of index out of bound exception, which are array index out of bound of exception and The second one is string index out of bound exception. And the fifth type of checked exception is a null pointer exception. Also there is array store exception. Also there is a illegal state exception, and the eighth type is a illegal monitored exception, and ninth type is a negative array size exception. It is occurred when we give the negative size to the array. So the second type of exception is a checked exception or compile time exception. The classes which directly inherit the throwable class except the runtime exception and error are known as a checked exception or a compile time exception. There are several types of checked exception. First one is the class not found exception. It is occur when we try to derive or access the class which is not present. And second one is file not found exception. This exception occur when we try to access the file which is not existed. The third one is the interrupted exception, thrown when a thread in a third one is a interrupted exception. Fourth one is a instantiation exception, thrown when we try to execute an object or abstract class or object of an abstract class or interface. And fifth one is illegal access exception. It is thrown when method is called in another method without permission. The sixth one is a class not supported exception, thrown when we try to clone object without the implementing the clonable interface. The seventh type of check exception is no such field exception, and eighth type of check exception is no such a method exception. So that was about the hierarchy of exception in Java. Thank you.